Sometimes this life is so depressing.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chinti. Your neighbor Udo for the video that are just joining us. And if you're just joining us, please do make sure that time by subscribing to my YouTube channel, turning on post notification, and of course giving this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching it. But if it's not your first time, welcome back. It's going to be really quick because I felt like I should make a detailed video about this thing that I'm going to be talking about. This has been the season of people going for youth service, relocating to different places, and then fortunately or unfortunately for some people, they've been brought back to the north. I mean, when I mean unfortunately and unfortunately, for some people it might be fortunately they want to come to the north and see how life is. Some people are upset that they've been brought to the north. So what I'm saying is, people have been posted, maybe let me just use NYC as an example. You've been posted to a particular place and you haven't done research, any form of research whatsoever about the weather of a certain place, and you just pack your things and just move. You move and then you go to a camp and you're there for 2 days and you're surprised. Why won't you be surprised when you haven't done any form of research? I'm going to be talking about the north generally today. Because the truth is, a lot of people still don't really know about the weather in the north, and even if they are being told about the weather in the north, they take it as people are exaggerating. I'm here to tell you that the weather in the north is extreme. Jesus, it is extreme. If it's hot, it's really hot. If it's cold, it's really cold. I'm putting on a jacket to film, for God's sake. I'm in my house. That's to let you know how extreme the cold is, and this is just November. So I've seen stories that like a couple of my classmates have even fallen victim of coming over to the north to serve, and I've been seeing scenarios of people bleeding from their nose, coughing blood. These are things you would have been able to avoid if you had asked the right questions, if you had researched properly, if you have carried along with you the right things that you needed. But no, they've posted you to somewhere and then you just pick your bags, pack everything that NYC said you should bring, and then you move, not taking care to find out about things and how it will affect your own body. Before relocating anywhere, or before going, especially when coming down to the north, I suggest you go to the hospital. It's the first thing that I usually suggest to people. I suggest you go to the hospital and do a proper thorough checkup, and then have the doctor ask you some questions. If you're susceptible to cold or susceptible to heat. A lot of people don't like heat and a lot of people don't like cold. It's not because they don't like it, but their body system reacts very bad to it. So bad that it demoralizes their entire stay. It might demoralize their entire stay in a particular environment if they are not careful. First of all, go to the hospital. It's quite important that you go to the hospital, run some tests, have the doctor ask you some questions, so that you might maybe be presented with a certain certificate that exempts you from some certain activities at some certain hours, maybe at the peak of the heat or at the peak of the cold. And I'm serious about this, really serious about this. After doing some medical checkup, now that you've gotten maybe a certificate or I don't know, maybe you just found out that your body is all right and maybe you might be able to adapt. Now let's make your adaptation process easy. Now, before coming to places like the north, please take your time to find out what exactly the weather looks like. Ask questions, research, watch YouTube videos. People are constantly talking about weather, so please watch YouTube videos. For example, if you're coming over to a place like Jos, it's cold. It's cold. So if you are coming to Jos, I'd advise that you make sure you take enough white sweaters, that's if you're coming to the camp, if you're going to camp, because I'm just using NYC as a case study. If you're coming to camp, make sure you come with enough white sweater, enough long socks, a lot of warm materials. That's what I mean, say warm clothing, warm materials, your blanket. Now I haven't been to camp before, so I can't say what the bathing process will be like, but try as much as possible to avoid bathing with cold water if you're coming over to the north. If you're coming over to Jos, try as much as possible to avoid showering with cold water. I know what I'm saying. Cold water. Avoid early morning. If you're the cold type, if you're the type that are susceptible to cold, avoid the early hours of the morning. Just avoid the early hours of the morning. If you can stay put in your house, stay put in your room. The early hours of the morning, I'm talking 3, I'm talking 4, I'm talking 5, I'm talking 6. Yeah, we can start functioning from 7 or maybe 6:30, but avoid early hours of the morning. This is when the weather is usually at its extreme point. Where the weather is usually at its extreme point. Have aside that, after that, have a flask, a water bottle that can retain warm liquid for you. It could be tea, it could be water. Have a flask that will retain warm liquids for you. These are things that will prevent you from, you know, coughing blood, sneezing blood, and all those stuff. Have a container that will preserve warm liquid for you. And any symptom that you find immediately in your body, maybe you're getting really your chest is beginning to constrict because of cold, your body, you're beginning to have this intense headache because of the cold. It used to happen to me before. Please make sure you complain. Immediately see a doctor to complain, so they can recommend drugs to you or recommend further advice that I may not be able to recommend for you. Please, your lotions, those creams that we used to rub, especially with ladies, is not going to work here. This Harmattan period is not going to work here. You're going to have to incorporate oil into your cream, into whatever it is that you apply. You're going to have to incorporate oil. You're going to have to use oil-based stuff, oil-based cream, oil-based soap, anything that can just keep your skin moisturized and not dry, because your skin is going to be dry. Your skin will dry. It will dry. I'm currently fighting that right now. Your skin will dry. The heel of your foot, it's going to dry so bad that if you're not careful, you're going to notice cracks, and you will want to have to take a trip to the salon for some really intense pedicure and manicure. Manicure is the one for the leg or the one for the hand. I used to confuse them, but that is what I'm trying to say. You're going to have to incorporate oil into whatever it is that you're using, from your face to your body to your soaps, and try as much as possible not to run out of moisturizers. I'm being honest and I'm trying to help, okay? I know that I'm giving too many rules. I've talked about this a lot of time, but please try as much as possible not to run out of moisturizers. If the weather is not favorable and maybe you're being forced to do some certain activities, speak up. Speak up. Don't be quiet though. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Talk to the necessary authorities involved so they'll be able to find a way to exempt you. I'm guessing that this video is going to be really short and maybe a tad bit uncoordinated, because it was like a special request on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram. Someone requested it, not someone, I think a couple of people requested this video on Instagram, so I just decided to like make this video and upload it. So it wasn't even in like my scheduled content for the month, but here I am making this video. I hope that I said things that you wanted to hear. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Turn on post notification for more interesting content and more impactful content. Actually, more impactful content. So whoever it is, if you're relocating down to the north, down here, down to Katsina, down to anywhere, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you safe journey, and I hope that you find the weather favorable and that the weather does not cause a lot of inconvenience to you, like so many stories that I've heard this year. So this is me signing out, and I'll see you in my next video.